me a god. You call me a god. You call me a god. You call me a god. Let's go. I'm about to go off like a weapon. Fuel to the top, gotta fill up.
Okay, what is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Juggernaut Show. And tonight I'm here to review TNA Genesis 2025s. So Genesis was this past Sunday, which it was January 19th, I believe. Yeah, January 19th, 2025. And it was from the Dallas, Texas area. And this was the first TNA pay-per-view of 2025. And I gotta say, this has probably been one of the best TNA pay-per-views, since rebranding back to TNA. Overall, overall card-wise, this was probably a very well-structured show. Now, Summerversary, I think, had a better double main event, and Bound for Glory had a better like I said, better main events. But overall, structure-wise, and every match flowed really well together, and a lot of the decisions made sense, coming out of the show, which was really good. So overall, I really enjoyed the show. Definitely these expectations exceeded themselves on the show. There wasn't really anything to really gripe about. Yeah, I really enjoyed the show. I didn't really watch the countdown to Genesis, so we're not going to really talk about that. So let's quit wasting time. I don't want to, waste a whole lot of time with this review. So let's jump right into this. So the first match that kicked off the night was the X Division Championship match. We had Moose defending the title against Ace Austin. Also, we had Chris Bay. He got injured. So Ace Austin, he's been, trying to, reestablish himself as a singles wrestler. In the X Division. He's been X Division champion a few times, and so he was making his marks, set on Moose, and basically got Ace Austin got approval from Chris Bay. Said, "Hey, go be a singles wrestler. Go get that X Division championship." Also, I've been liking, Moose as this X Division champion. I think it's been rejuvenated his career a little bit. It has something for him to do. Also, you had a lot of interference from the system here. JDC, which Dirty Dango, that's what I like to call him, and Alicia Edwards. And of course, Brian Myers and Eddie Edwards, they came down. A lot, like I said, a lot of interference from the system in this match here. Ace Austin, he was pulling out some pretty big moves in this match. He had some nice, pretty devastating Hurricane Rana's to the outside of the ring. Moose, there's one point where Moose hit a nice spear when Ace Austin was going for a springboard. Some type of springboard crossbody, but Moose countered it into a midair spear. Moose, he was just hitting some dominated moves, very, very powerful. I like the different contrasting styles here. It was nice. I mean, it was overall, it was a good match. Like I said, a lot of interference from the system. There was one point where Ace Austin did a plunge over the top rope onto Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers. But in the end, Moose ended up retaining his TNA X Division title. And that really segued into our next match, which we'll get into in a minute. But after the match, Ace Austin, he was about to get the beatdown from the system, of Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers. But we had Steve Maclin and Eric Young come do the save, save from the beatdown, which segued into this next match, which we had a tag team match between the system, Eddie Edwards, and Brian Myers going up against Eric Young and Steve Maclin, which, we see Steve Maclin doing this more face turn, which is a nice change here because in most of his career he's been a heel. So they brawled around the ring for a little bit. Of course, we had Alicia Edwards out there. It took a few minutes before the match really got under control. I think this was kind of one of the more weaker things on this show. I mean, not saying that it was like really bad, but I think it was like one of the more weaker things on the show. And I feel like the split up between the system is definitely going to be happening soon. After I mean, the system lost this match. I'm trying to remember who exactly got. I think it was Brian Myers that got pinned, but let me check here. I'm trying to remember here, but I mean, like I said, it was okay for what it was. Nothing too crazy. Um, let me make sure the ending was right. Macklin, he ended up doing his finisher. Where was it? He hit the KIA on. No, it was Brian Myers that took the pinfall. Sorry, in my notes here, yeah, it says Brian Myers took the pinfall. I don't know. Like I said, it was okay. I mean, Eddie Edwards isn't what he used to be. Like back during American Wolf days. He's not who he used to be. And Eric Young, he's beginning up there in age. But like I said, I mean, both. I mean, the match was fine for what it was. Nothing crazy. Like I said. Edwards, he had a nice blue thunder bomb in his match. I mean, Steve Macklin, he was running through both guys. I like when he does like his tope. That's pretty nice when Macklin does that. Yeah, Eric Young and Steve Macklin ended up winning here. Like I said, I feel like there's going to be a split up happening soon between the system, but overall, it was okay for what it was. Nothing crazy. All right, and then the next match we had was the TNA Knockouts tag team titles on the line. We had Spitfire of Jody Threat and Danny Luna defending the titles against Ash and Heather by Elegance. Yeah, you had Ash and Heather come out. They were dressed up like, they were in like cowgirls, cheerleaders gear. I mean, they were in Dallas, Texas, so they were wearing Dallas stuff. Excuse me. This match kind of got started off slow. But once Joey Threat, she kind of made like the hot tag in. She was running through both Ash and Heather. Of course, we had a lot of interference between I can't remember their Ash and Heather's manager's name, but he was getting involved. A lot of heel tactics from Ash and Heather. I gotta tell you, I'm a big fan of Daniel Luna. She was coming in there, she was hitting a whole bunch of suplexes. I like that suplex from like the outside of the ring to the inside, like from the apron to the inside. That was nice. I mean, there was some shenanigans, as Kickin It with Leo would say, there were some shenanigans here. The legal woman, got the illegal woman got the pinfall. Jody Threat, they ended up doing the pressure drop onto Ash, and then Jody Threat ended up getting the 1, 2, 3, and still your knockouts tag team champions were Spitfire. Like I said, and then the commentary was saying that, hey, Jody Threat wasn't a legal woman, and there was a whole bunch of confusion at the end there of the match, but I mean, it was an okay match. Like I said, it kind of got going when Jody Threat got into the match, but it was slow to start out, but okay match where it was. Nothing crazy. All right. And this is probably my favorite match of the night right here. We had Jordynne Grace going up against Tessa Blanchard. And, going into this match, Tessa Blanchard, this is her return into like on pay-per-view into ring, in ring action. Since like 2020, somewhere around there. Yeah, or 2019. I can't exactly remember. But yeah, Tessa Blanchard, she has her baggage with her coming back into TNA, after the remarks, how she said the N-word. We're not gonna get all into that, and how she's kind of been a bully to like Chelsea Green. There was one point where she was a bully to her. Yeah, like I said, this was a really, really fun match. I really enjoyed it. Jordynne Grace, I'm not the biggest fan of her, like looks wise, but like in ring, she is like she's always been really good in ring. And also, she needs to pay me my royalties because listen, I'm the real Juggernaut. I am the real Juggernaut over here. She needs to pay me my royalties. So Jordynne Grace, give me my start paying me. Copyright here. Um, yeah, both women worked really well together. I think both of them like actually have some like real hatred toward each other, if I can even say that right now. And I also like the facial expressions that Tessa Blanchard does, like when she gets like near falls, like the faces she makes, and I don't know, Tessa Blanchard, she's really good in the ring. It's fun. It's nice seeing her back in the ring. I mean, there was definitely a lot of hatred towards Tessa Blanchard. The crowd was chanting "You're racist" and all of that. There was one point where Jordynne Grace, she hit a really nice Death Valley driver off the steel steps. That was a nice spot in the match. Tessa Blanchard, she was hitting some pretty big moves in the match. I liked like towards the end of the match where the Tessa Blanchard had the bottom turnbuckle exposed, and she hit this nice DDT. And then Tessa Blanchard went up for the Magnum, and got the 1-2-3, and Tessa Blanchard won this match. Like I said, Jordynne Grace, she's showing a lot of feats of strength here. She even tried to pull out some moves from like Samoa Joe and stuff. The Muscle Buster. There were really nice transitions into submissions in this match. This was a fun match. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, the reaction between the reaction for Tessa Blanchard was like a lot of it was negative, but you had some fans turn on Tessa Blanchard here. And also, definitely see Jordynne Grace. She's gonna be leaving TNA. She's definitely. I see that Jordynne Grace is gonna be in the 2025 Women's Rumble. I see her going like she was in it last year, and WWE has definitely had an eye on her for this like past year. She's been showing up in NXT and doing stuff with that. So I definitely see Jordynne Grace, making a mark in WWE. Hell, maybe have Masha Slamovich be a part of the Rumble, and even have Tessa Blanchard, to really make this Rumble special. Because these past few years of Rumble matches for the women have kind of struggled a little bit. So have all three like Jordynne Grace, Masha, and Tessa Blanchard in the Rumble. Because you got this pairing between WWE and TNA now, so you can have these mergers. So like I said, there is a baggage with Tessa Blanchard, but I'm all about kind of giving people second chances, because people could change. So saying like, she did say some stuff, controversial stuff in the past, but like I said, I think people can change. Giving people second chances, and maybe putting Tessa Blanchard on a short leash. Don't give her much. Like actually, be, try to have a little mic work not a little mic work as possible, but put her on a short leash. What she can say on the microphone, and what she can do backstage as of right now. But she's really good in the ring. Like you can't take away what she does in like her in ring work. It's like really good. But yeah, Tessa Blanchard ended up getting the victory here. Really fun match. I really enjoyed it. All right. In the next match, we had the I Quit match between Josh Alexander and Mike Santana. This was a fun match here. I really enjoyed it. I wouldn't say it was like the greatest I Quit match I've ever seen. Like, and kind of lower your standards for this match a little bit, then you would be very, very satisfied with this match. Josh Alexander, he got a lot of heat in this match. There was this one sign in the crowd where it said Josh Alexander's hair quit already quit. And I don't know why they like, and they were like chanting "walking wiener" because Joe Hendry like made some jokes about him during the summertime, about Josh Alexander in the summertime. Mike Santana, he has this big drive about him. He's trying to be like the next standard in TNA here. He used to be part of LAX. He did have a little stint in TNA. Like I said, he was with Ortiz, and it was Mike Santana, and then of course LAX. This was a fun match, and he even was hitting some like nice high spots in this match. Trying to think of some like big moves in this match. There was this nice like back body like going through the there was this table set up that was a cool spot in the match. There was one spot there where Mike Santana, it didn't really come off that good. They like had Josh Alexander in the corner, and then Mike, he went for a and then there was this table, and then Santana went for like this flip through the table, and it did more damage on Santana than it did on Josh Alexander. What else do we have? I mean, Josh Alexander, he was doing some pretty decent stuff. He was also doing a lot of mocking of Eddie Guerrero here, doing some like Three Amigos. And there was one point where Mike Santana, he lost his shoe, or lost his boot, so he wrestled like half the match without his wrestled with like one boot on. And then Josh, he just started really targeting that one foot, the barefoot of Mike Santana. Even Josh, he tried getting out some zip ties, but that ended up really backfiring on Josh, and he ended up getting zip tied. And there was one point where Santana, he brought out a sock, and it had like a cue ball in it, and he started hitting it onto the ribs and chest of Josh. That was pretty cool. The ending, that would have been a crazy ending if they actually would have done that spot, but it looks like Josh Alexander, he was about to get like curve stomped into the steel steps, and of course his hands were zip tied, so that would have been one of the craziest spots we've seen from this year already. And like Josh, you probably would have lost some teeth. He probably it would have been a bad spot for Josh, but he said he quit before the spot could happen. So the winner of the match was Mike Santana. After the match, they shook hands. He said, "Hey, Josh said, hey, you are the standard bearer of TNA now." He says, "Not only do I quit this match, but I quit TNA." So Josh Alexander is done with TNA. Where does Josh Alexander go from here? Does he go to AEW? To be honest, I hope he does not go to AEW, because I feel like he's just going to get lost in the shuffle. I mean, they'll book him okay at the beginning, but then he'll just get lost in the shuffle like on Collision, and they just won't book him well. That's what it feels like happened to a lot of these AEW wrestlers right now. I feel like he should go to WWE, in my personal opinion. Maybe reform the North with Ethan Page over there, and maybe go for like the tag team titles and do something like as a heel tag team. I think that'd be pretty good. But yeah, Mike Santana ends up getting the victory here, and we move on to the next match, which was the TNA World Tag Team titles on the line. We had a Hardy party going on right here. We had the Hardys, Jeff and Matt, defending the titles against the Rascals. Zachary Wentz and Trey Miguel. And also, like I mentioned earlier, we got this WWE and TNA partnership. So we had some guys come out to the ring, and we had the NXT Tag Team Champions for Axiom come down. They were sent out by ringside. I kind of wish they would have done this a little better, like made these guys show up. But yeah, they were scouting out this competition here, see who was going to win this match. They were sent like really close to the ring. They ended up getting like a little scuffle between the Rascals because the Rascals ended up hitting them. I mean, if you're gonna be that close to the ring, you're gonna be getting hit. I gotta say that if you're gonna be sitting that close to the ring. But yeah, overall for this match, this was a okay match. I mean, it wasn't anything crazy. Um, I definitely gotta say, like the kind of the downside to this match was like the Rascals' size. Is definitely you could definitely see the size. They're smaller than the Hardys. But I mean, this was a fun tag team match. I mean, the Rascals they did some okay tag team maneuvers, but definitely the downfall was them kind of getting into it with for Axiom. That was definitely the downfall. And also their downfall was like Matt Hardy. He you could definitely see like the age is catching up to Matt Hardy and like his kind of like his like body shape and like he's moving a lot slower than what he used to. But Jeff Hardy, he's definitely the great worker here. He was working great. He, hit a nice whisper in the wind. Did a nice poetry in motion onto the Rascals. But the Hardys, they ended up retaining their titles. They did the twist of fate, and then they did the side effect, and then Jeff went up for the Swanton Bomb, and still the TNA Tag Team Champions, the Hardy Boys, Jeff and Matt. But match, good way. I mean, fun match here, nothing crazy. And now move on to the next match, which we had was the Clockwork Orange House of Fun match. That's a lot to say. For the TNA Knockouts World Championship, we have Masha Slamovich defending the title against Rosemary. It's been 7 years since Rosemary held the Knockouts Championship. To be honest, I don't remember really Rosemary holding the title. It must have been like a short stint. But if you guys do not know what a Clockwork Orange House of Fun match is, it's basically a match that Raven made back in the day in like NWA, TNA. You basically have this chain hanging around the ring, and like you have a whole bunch of weapons there. It's like a really hardcore match, and we saw some pretty hardcore spots in this match. I mean, and for the spot that this match was in, it got a fairly good reaction here. It'll be going on before the main event here. This was definitely a fun match. I'm trying to think of it. Every big spot that happened. I mean, Masha Slamovich. There's one point where she introduced some like a staple gun and ended up stapling Rosemary's hand and like stapling her armpit. That was sick in the match. That was crazy. I think another big spot that Rosemary did was did this Masha Slamovich was on top of a ladder, and she ended up dumping Rosemary. Or no, sorry, dumping Rosemary ended up dumping Masha through this table on the outside. And also, this was at Falls Conure, so falls counted anywhere. What else did we have here? There was one point where Masha Slamovich she had a snow plow onto like some barbed wire boards. That was a crazy spot in the match. I got a near fall. Rosemary ended up at one point bringing out Janice, which Rosemary was a part of Decay with Abyss, which Abyss that's what Abyss called this like barbed wire, like this board that had a whole bunch of nails in it, 2x4 had a whole bunch of nails in it. If I can even talk right now, so that was pretty cool. He even had a thumbtack spot. Masha went through some thumbtacks on top of the stage. But Masha Slamovich, she ended up winning the match here. She hit a nice it was from the middle rope. She hit this pile driver through a whole bunch of steel chairs and ended up defeating Rosemary. Now, people might compare like Rosemary to like say people watch AW like to like an Abaddon like. which that is true. Like you could really compare that there. But yeah, Masha Slamovich ends up winning here. Like I said, I would love to see Masha Slamovich make an appearance in the 2025 Royal Rumble. Have the TNA champion show up like they did last year with Jordynne Grace. And I think the year prior they even had Mickie James show up. Yeah, she showed up with the TNA title, Knockouts title. But after the match, we had another NXT wrestler show up, and it was none other than Cora Jade. We saw Masha on this past week's or last week's Impact or not NXT. But yeah, Cora Jade, she shows up here and kind of making a mark. Hey, maybe she's coming after that Knockouts title. We got Vengeance Day coming up in February, and TNA does not have a special in February, so maybe we have some like little crossovers here between Masha and Cora Jade at, for the TNA Knockouts title at NXT Vengeance Day. I think that'd be pretty cool. But yeah, we saw them have a stare down. It was nice seeing Cora Jade. I'm a big fan of hers in NXT, so it was nice seeing her here. But yeah, now we move on to the main event, which was for the TNA World title. We had Nic Nemeth defending the title against Say His Name and He Appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. Yes. Do you guys believe in Joe Hendry? Do you guys believe? Because I really believe in Joe Hendry. But yeah, this is the rematch from Bound for Glory 2024. I definitely like this match a lot better than their 2024 match. They had Ryan Nemeth. He was banned from ringside. He ends up coming out later in the match. He bought a ticket. We also had Frankie Kazarian. He tried cashing in his call your shot gauntlet. Yeah, this was definitely a back and forth match. You definitely saw the strength of Joe Hendry here. Nic Nemeth, he was really selling a lot for Joe. A lot of follow away slams from Joe Hendry, which was cool. The crowd, like I said, they're just really behind Joe Hendry a lot. Like if Joe Hendry would have lost, this would have been a bad mistake for TNA. To be honest, like TNA's, they made some pretty bad mistakes back in the past. But if he would have lost here, like nobody would care. Like if they would have started losing faith in Joe Hendry. But Nic Nemeth, he was really selling a lot in this match and some nice moves in his like danger zone. A lot of near falls from both guys. Really fun match. Joe Hendry, he ended up having to hit the standing ovation a few times. Frankie Kazarian, like I said, he ended up coming out. JBL, he makes his presence known in this match. I thought he was going to try to take out Joe or Nic Nemeth. I don't know really what his involvement is, why he keeps getting involved with these Nic Nemeth matches. I don't know why. Why he was on Monday Night Raw. I have no idea. But yeah, he takes out Frankie Kazarian and also takes out Ryan Nemeth. And then he just leaves. That's all he does. And then yeah, Joe Hendry, he hits a few standing ovations. And the new TNA World Champion is Joe Hendry. And we all wave our hands from side to side to side, and like we're all happy that Joe Hendry is the new TNA World Champion. I was happy here. I called it. I said that, hey, he needs to win it here. If he doesn't, then like I said, we don't care much anymore. But yeah, that was TNA Genesis. Overall, really, really enjoyable show from top to bottom. But if I had to recommend one match for you guys to watch, it would be the Tessa Blanchard and Jordynne Grace match. That's definitely the match to check out. Also, check out the main event. The I Quit match was fun. Definitely overall fun show. Got a lot of content coming up on my channel. This weekend we got Saturday night's main event. So I'm going to be doing a preview show for Saturday night's main event, the first one for 2025, and also be doing a watch along for Saturday night's main event. So definitely be on the lookout for that. Also got some Rumble videos to do since Rumble is next. Since Rumble is next, not this Saturday, but next Saturday, February 1st, which I will be there. So we got a lot of content coming out for the Rumble. As well as I got some more reviews to do, some more watch alongs. Definitely subscribe if you haven't already. I am on the road to 1K subscribers, so let's get me to that mark. And also, go follow me on Instagram and Twitter at the True JSB. Go hit me up on there. Let me know what you guys want to see. Got some more tier lists to do. Got some more watch alongs, reviews. Maybe more reaction. I'm gonna do more reaction type of videos, so definitely stay tuned for that. But yeah, got a lot of stuff coming up on my channel here these next few weeks. So this is your boy Juggernaut saying peace out, and I will see you guys in my next video. So peace.